Hey, happy Friday, everybody. So today what I want to do is I want to talk to you about that Hyperledger Fabric developer exam that I was able to pass here last week. Now, I didn't crush it, but I did pass, so that's all that matters, I guess. What do they say? The guy that graduates last in med school, what do you call him? Your doctor, right? So anyway, I passed, so that's good enough. All right, so here's my exam certificate voucher. This is a cool little coin that you'll get in the mail. You'll get one much like this. It'll actually come in a really great presentation, and you'll get that from the Blockchain Training Alliance. In conjunction with that, you'll also get a certificate that includes a unique transaction hash that can then be used as your token in order to validate that you've got your certificate. So we're going to go ahead and kind of go through the application that the Training Alliance has built out to allow you to kind of validate this information, and then we'll actually take a look at the raw data that drives that through the etherscan.io blockchain scanner that allows us to actually see the individual transaction and the contract that gave us the ability to have this certification. So we're not going to actually see the nuts and bolts of what's going on with all of the nuances of the application in and of itself, but what we want to do is just kind of show you the basics of the app. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we're going to go ahead and just show you my desktop here. And what I've done is I've navigated to one of the Blockchain Training Alliance's websites, the btacertified.com/certification. And when you navigate here, you'll just put in the token that you get from obtaining your certification. So you'll get an email, and in that email, it'll actually have a link to this certificate. And so here's the actual certificate that I'm talking about. But this is the token. So this is that token ID that I need to put in. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And so this is the token ID that they're requesting. So that's what I just showed you there on that certificate. And when I click on Get, it'll go out and it'll actually retrieve that information. It'll pull it up down here at the bottom. It'll show you the candidate's name, the exam that they took, when they took the exam, and then you can download that certificate, which is the certificate that I was just showing you. So this is the actual application that's kind of built out on top of the Ethereum blockchain. But let's go out to the Ethereum blockchain and actually see some of that raw data. So that's going to be the next thing we're going to do here. And so what I've done is I've actually went ahead and navigated. Let's go ahead and just go back to this BTA certified page. And so as you'll notice here, after if you look down here at the bottom, it says if you want to actually look at your exam data through Etherscan, you can do that as well. And you just have to put in the contract address that coincides with the exam that you took. So here we have the solutions architect, its contract address, the developer on Ethereum, its contract address, Hyperledger Fabrics contract address, solutions provider, security professional, and then business foundations. And so those are the different certifications that are currently offered, and the contract addresses, and where you can actually verify the data or the individuals that have been sent through that contract or have the that information. So what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to etherscan/x10, that address, and that's the address that we saw here. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. So I'll go ahead and put that up here for you guys. 0x10, that's this one here. And so here are the different contracts. So this is the contract itself. And so here's all the different transactions that have went through this contract. If I look at this particular transaction, I know that's the transaction that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and select that second transaction. And that was 3 days ago that this transaction actually occurred on the blockchain. If I select view as input and change that out to UTF-8, I see my name there. If I wanted to go back out and see the transaction itself, you can even drill in a little bit further into that as well. Bear with me here. So again, there was that transaction, and I can see it was sent to this contract address. Actually, let's go ahead. Here's the transaction here, and I can see that it was sent to this particular contract address. If I select that contract address, I see that this is the contract address for the developer on Hyperledger, and I see that there's 64 transactions. So that basically tells me that I'm one of 64 people in the world that have been able to successfully pass this exam, which that's really kind of a cool bragging right. I think back in the day, I was one of the first, I think 10,000 Microsoft certified systems engineers, which ended up being a very popular certification and one of the first certified professionals for Microsoft too, I think. So really kind of cool being a pioneer, one of the first certified developers in the blockchain era. So I'm very proud of that, and so it's really kind of fun to come out and take a look at this application that allows you to prove that information. So I like to say this is your proof of knowledge, right? It's your proof that you've obtained the knowledge that you got when you sat in the training with the Blockchain Training Alliance. So I hope you've enjoyed any training that you've had with them, if you've had any already. If not, please come check us out at blockchaintrainingalliance.com and get signed up for one of our courses. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this little demo, and I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. Happy Friday to you guys, and keep on blockchaining.